We have completed the application type repository as well as category repository. Next thing that we have is product repository. The repository will look somewhat similar to what we did for category and application type, but there will be few new things. So let's get started with that. Let me stop the application here. And we'll change this to product repository since I already copied it over. We'll also have the interface, we'll paste it here and change the name to iProduct repository. We'll copy the iProduct repository, change the name here, and the class will be product. Perfect, looks good. Let's update the repository class file. iProduct repository, class will be product repository, and this will be on product. Now in update, this is one way of updating. Remember, we are not saving things here. Another way to update is on DB. We directly have the update method and we can pass the object. This automatically determines what is the class and it updates it. If you want, you can explicitly define the product here as well. So this is just a single line, but one thing to remember is with this, all the properties of product will be updated. If you want only one property to be updated, this won't work. We'll have to fall back to the previous method. For our case, this looks good. Now with this, let's go to our startup and let's paste here for iProduct repository. Once you make this change, let's open up the product controller. We will have to make more changes here, but let's proceed for now. So this will be iProduct repository and we'll call this prod repo. Let me paste it here. Perfect. Now let's make the changes. The first thing here is .include. So for that, we have the underscore prod repo and we just want the get all. In get all, we have include properties. First one here is the filter, then we have order by, and we have include properties. We can directly use the include properties here, and we need to pass a string. So what will be the string? String will be category with a comma and application type. That's the exact syntax. Here, if you have any error in the spellings or case, this won't work. It has to be exactly like this. So this looks good with our repository. We'll see that in action in the next video. Next task that you see is we need the category list and application type dropdown. So these dropdowns, we are actually going to the database. So if you want, you can add the category repository as well as application type repository in the product class and retrieve them right here. Another way of doing that is in our repository, we can add more methods. Right now we only have update, but we can add a new method here. So what we'll do is I'll call this, it should return an IEnumerable of select list item. And we'll call this get all dropdown list. In the parameters, we can pass a string object. You can have two methods for category or application type, or you can have both the implementations in a single method. In repository, let's implement the interface. The string that we pass will be basically, do you want the dropdown for category or application type? So for that, I do not like magic strings. In utility, we have the web constants. Let me add two more constants here. I'll copy and paste them 2 times. I'll name them category name and application type name. In here, when we have to implement this, we'll first check if obj is equal to web constant, and we need to add the reference to rocky.utility. If you don't see this, what you have to do is if you go here inside the data access project, right click, add project references, and we will be adding the utility. Once you do that, if you press Ctrl.now, you have rocky_utility dot, we have the category name. So if this is for category, we will return using projections that we are using in product controller. Let me cut this, go back and paste it right here. So this looks good for category. Let's go back for application type. Let me cut this, switch back. Here, let me add another if condition, and we'll say if obj is equal to web constants dot application type name. Then we want to return, and we'll paste what we copied for application type. If both of these conditions are not true, we will return null. So great, we have added a new method in our repository. Let's use that in our product controller.